Hello and welcome to the late night edition with me, Ayushman Singh John. Well, big breaking news coming in at the top of the bulletin where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has now directed his military to launch immediate and powerful strikes in the Gaza Strip. This follows security consultations and what Israel claims are repeated violations of the ceasefire agreement brokered by US President Donald Trump. Tensions escalated after Hamas reportedly returned the remains of Israeli hostages and opened fire on Israeli forces in southern Gaza. The fragile ceasefire in place since October 10th now hangs in the balance after Trump has been touting the Gaza ceasefire around the globe. Now it seems to have gone up in smoke as Israel has now ordered powerful strikes, and I quote, powerful strikes on the Gaza Strip, claiming Hamas has violated the entire ceasefire. Now, the tweet that's put out by Netanyahu reads, following security consultations, Prime Minister Netanyahu has directed the military to immediately carry out forceful strikes in the Gaza Strip, is the pitch that has come in from the Israeli Prime Minister. I'm joined by my colleague Siddhant Mishra on the broadcast. So, Siddhant, clearly it seems Trump's much touted Gaza peace plan, which everyone doubted, it's gone up in smoke like the smoke we are seeing rising from Gaza.
Well, that's right, Ayushman. The Gaza peace plan, the ceasefire, is definitely in crisis. In fact, from the very beginning, we have been seeing that how Israeli, X accounts have been putting out the videos of open firing happening in Khan Yunus and various other parts of Gaza, etc., etc. Now, in fact, IDF did come up with a video where they alleged that Hamas terrorists were filmed removing body remains from prepared structure and reburying them nearby before summoning Red Cross representatives. In fact, just a short while back, as you rightly said, Ayushman, there was this statement which came from the Prime Minister's office where a statement says that following security consultations, Prime Minister Netanyahu has directed the military to immediately carry out forceful strikes in Gaza Strip. In fact, the Jerusalem Post, Ayushman, is now reporting that Israel will expand its territory in Gaza following Hamas's ceasefire violations, and Israel is in touch with the United States. So the first step of President Trump's 20-point cease plan was to withdraw the forces from where they were deployed before, Ayushman, and now there is a high possibility that Israel will again be expanding the forces to the previous places, to the previous posts in Gaza. So a big setback for President Trump's peace efforts, and definitely ceasefire is in crisis. Perhaps we could expect Israeli forces to carry out strikes in Gaza again.
Right. Thank you, Siddhant, for getting us that perspective. Let's get to our guest to decode this further. I'm joined by Major General A.K. Sewaj, as well as Deepak Vora, former diplomat, joining us on the broadcast. Ambassador Vora, you had predicted this from day one, that this was not sustainable. Clearly, you're Nostradamus in this entire case. Clearly, everyone like you had said that this was untenable, this kind of a peace deal that Trump had brokered. And pretty much he's been touting this around the world, even at the ASEAN summit. But Israel had to put its security first. And clearly, we're seeing Netanyahu, walk the talk on that front.
Well, thank you very much. Always a privilege to be with you, son. I learned so much from you, from Major General Sewaj. Your channel is the best and you are the best of the best. I mean it sincerely. Right now, I'm in New York. I've just come back from my afternoon walk. It's chilly. It's 7 degrees. And there's a chance of rain. Mausam ka jankari ab khatam hui. Now, what Netanyahu is going to do from the very beginning, the whole thing was never about peace in Gaza. It was kicking the Palestinians out of Gaza and handing over the strip to Donald Trump to develop as a result. All this rubbish, 10 points, 20 points, it means nothing. The idea is, does Hamas accept the existence of Israel? Answer, no. Does Israel accept the existence of Hamas? Answer, no. What is the option? One non-Muslim country surrounded by hostile Muslim neighbors. An outpost of the West, particularly of the United States. It's there to stabilize that region. They are doing the best that they can. Hamas decided to commit suicide when they attacked Israel. They did that massive, horrible thing. Now they are in trouble and they deserve it. Not one of the Palestinians, as far as I know, has actually condemned what Hamas did. Even in the United States, where I am at the moment, There have been demonstrations from the mountain to the sea. Palestine will be free. Nobody has talked about the kind of brutality that these guys showed. I'm sorry to have to say this, but I'm haunted. Yeah, I'm a father. I'm haunted by images of one of these jokers actually violating the dead body of a Jewish girl and screaming Allahu Akbar what he was. No, 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 no. These beasts have no right to exist. So what Netanyahu is doing, he has prioritized Israeli security, and I believe this is a fight to the finish. Hamas has been emasculated. They will not do anything. What is my reaction for what Netanyahu is doing? I quote the famous Indian line, Mogambo, Khush hua.
Right. And General Sivach, given the fact that the tenets of the entire deal was that Israel will maintain a yellow line, this kind of a, if you would say, a perimeter around the Gaza Strip, and would have the option to launch punitive strikes if there is a ceasefire violation, this deal was bound to fail from the very beginning.
Yes, very correct, Ayushman. 2-3 things are very clear in this. See, one thing is that there was a total mistrust and distrust between Israel and Hamas. And Israel could not go for an all-out war or could not go full force because there were hostages still there with the Hamas, which were basically the living one were 20, which are now returned back. It's only the dead bodies are left, 16 have come back. No, there is no compulsion on Israel. Israel will strike back. It knows it that the Hamas, they wanted to completely destroy Hamas so that they don't become a threat in near future. But still, it seemingly looks that Hamas still has a military capacity and it can strike back. So Israel, on the first chance, wanted to now strike back again. They don't have now their hands tied behind their back. They will strike back. Because the point is that is Hamas ready to disarm, which there was a question mark from the beginning. Israel can only come out of Gaza once they know that the Hamas will able to be completely disarmed, which is not going to happen. So the point is, from the beginning only, this 20-point peace plan was not implementable. Of course, it implemented, say, 10 to 20%. The hostages are back. Now Israel will strike back with the full might.
Right.
And Hamas has committed a suicide by violating the ceasefire because they have attacked in the southern part of the Gaza in Rafah, and now Israel will strike back. My point is, as far as Israel is concerned, they are crystal clear. They will not allow Hamas to exist in Gaza because they feel what was done on the 7th October was a genocide. And this can be repeated again by Hamas. Remember the tunnels they have made it in Gaza. No one could believe it. Till now, the Israelis could not detect where are their hostages. So therefore, I think Israel will go all out and Israel will try to now frisk Hamas in time to come.
Right, absolutely. And as Ambassador Vohra, as you were pointing out, Israel got what it wanted. It got those remaining hostages back. So now this opened the door for these kind of punitive strikes against Hamas, which still has an active presence in the Gaza Strip. Let's talk about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who's been touting his, peacemaker, bravado across the globe. He falsely claims he brokered the ceasefire between India and Pakistan. He made up a war between Azerbaijan and Albania, something that the global community lampooned him for. He brokered a peace between Cambodia and Thailand way after the hostilities, and now this entire plan falling apart, then the Ukraine-Russia thing not working out. What does this do for brand Trump on the global stage?
I'm in the United States. I've been watching a lot of local channels. No one curses Donald Trump here. You'll be amazed the kind of support that he has, because he's been selling this snake oil to the people here. The Americans are not very smart as far as international affairs are concerned. And if he says he has done it, well, maybe he's done it. No, although some people are questioning it. But what I see for brand Trump is MAGA, son, nothing else. Make America great again. We'll be number one in the world as we used to be, and we have to be again. That's all that he cares for. In the process, if he has to tell half-truths or non-truths or be economical with the truth, so be it. Sometimes the fantasy in his mind, this is a medical condition my psychiatrist friends here tell me, which he starts believing is reality. It's not. It's fantasy that I did this between India and Pakistan. Now, the latest is Afghanistan and Pakistan are lobbing missiles at each other. And he says, all right, let these guys come and talk to me. I'll sort it out in 5 minutes. That's the kind of person he is. It's never going to be sorted out. The antipathy between the Taliban regime, between the Afghans in general and the Pakistanis is so deep that not even Donald Trump's grandfather, if he was still alive, would be able to do it. So I think we take this man as he is. We don't oppose him. He's, after all, the president of the richest country in the world. I won't say the most powerful, the richest country in the world. He certainly is. Now, why should we call him out? Let him revel in his own fantasy. It doesn't bother me. He's talking about tariffs. He's talking about this, that. Very good. Carry on with what we are doing. We'll carry on with what we are doing. And once again, what Dr. S. Jaishankar, my colleague from the Foreign Service, told Marco Rubio in Kuala Lumpur. He read him the Riot Act, that the kind of hypocrisy that we are seeing in you. If you want to destroy the trust that exists between India and the United States, well, so be it. But the responsibility will rest on your shoulders. So I think we let Trump do what he's doing,
right,
as long as he doesn't hurt us. When he hurts us, we'll defend our interests. It's very simple.
Right. But clearly that entire brand of peace that he was brokering in the Middle East, that's completely gone up in smoke. He brought his entire family to Israel to kind of tout this peace deal. Now look at the fact that Netanyahu is launching those airstrikes in Gaza. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us and decoding this for us. Major General A.K. Sewaj and Deepak Vora, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to talk to both of you.